everybody, Sarah with you today. I am showing you some supplies we are going to use. Today's Technique Tuesday is all about distressing. So I'm going to teach you a really easy way to take a bright white piece of basil coconut swirl cardstock and turn it into something that looks old, distressed, textured, and awesome. I'm going to start with some Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo. I'm putting it down onto my Altenew watercolor palette, adding some water, and I'm just giving this whole piece of paper a wash. So super simple. This is just the beginning of what we're going to do to this paper. And so we're not looking for perfection here at all. We're just trying to tone down some of the bright white of the cardstock. So we are also in the process getting some water into our paper. We need water into our paper today. I know that doesn't sound like a good idea. Water and paper doesn't seem like it should mix, but for our purposes, for this particular technique, water and paper mix. So we're gonna just get a nice wash of color all over this white cardstock. Once I have a good amount of ink and a good amount of water on my paper, we're going to scrunch it up. Don't be shy. Take this paper and turn it into a ball. That's what we need. We need this paper to look old. We want texture. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to really, pretend it's like a tax bill or something you don't like to get in the mail, and just ball it up. Okay, so then we're gonna unball it kind of gently, but at the same time, if the edges tear, it's okay. All right, because kind of flatten it out just a little bit. We're not done yet though. I'm just gonna wipe the water off, a little bit of excess water here, direct to paper. So I'm taking that Distress Oxide ink and I'm putting it direct to paper. I'm just sliding it across the top. So it's gonna catch all of those crinkles. Then we're gonna spritz it with some more water, and then we're gonna ball it up again. See, this is so fun, right? Coolest technique ever. Okay, now we're gonna open it up. All right. It's going to shrink. This cardstock is not gonna be 12 by 12 anymore once you're finished. Now clean up and let this sit. Let it sit overnight. You need it to get good and dry. When it's all dry, it's gonna look like this. And now it's time to create with it. I'm gonna be using products from My Mind's Eye. This is the My Heritage collection, and we're gonna tear the paper. Oh yes, yes we are. So I just gave it a tear. I'm gonna kind of layer it in on itself. So I am using tape runner right now, but have your wet glue handy, because as you continue to create your layout using this paper, you are going to find that parts of it might stick up. They might need extra glue. You'll see it as we go around. Now remember, I said that because of all of this scrunching and water we've attacked this paper with, it's going to shrink. So you don't have a 12-inch piece anymore. That didn't bother me at all. I'm going to go ahead and kind of layer everything up on top of itself so that in the end you don't really notice all of that shrinkage from the paper. But just know that definitely is something that will happen. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and trim off the edge. Now, because there's so much thick texture on these papers, it doesn't lay flat. So I had to play a little bit with my trimmer to get it to cut well and to cut through the paper, and that was just because it was kind of bulky. And again, just going ahead and using some of my tape runner to kind of tuck it in and around, fill in that little bit of a gap there, and now we are ready to start creating our layout. We have all this kind of busyness and bulk going on towards the bottom of our page. So the rest of our layout is going to come together really easy, and we're not going to do too much embellishing. I'm going to use this black and white pattern paper, and I'm going to use this Tim Holtz Distress tool to really rough up the edges. I'm not going to add any more distress ink. I felt like there was enough dark and light and enough busyness going on with that with our distress pattern paper at the bottom that we didn't need to add more to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a good rough up. Any of these products that are available over at A Cherry on Top will be linked down below. I'm going to tuck this one underneath, and then I'm going to map my photo with that black paper. We're going to do a heritage layout today, so we're going to scrapbook my grandfather's high school graduation photo from the 1940s. Perfect for this type of distressed paper. Because of the dimension and texture that this paper now has, I'm going to use some foam tape to kind of pop it up so it's all at the same height. And then we're going to be ready to go ahead and just add a couple of embellishments to this layout. We're not going to add a lot. We don't need a lot. Since this is a pretty special photo, I'm going to go ahead and start by adding a little bit of gold. So I'm just going to add some of these gold foil stickers. I kind of cut them up so I could tuck them in between my kind of rough layers. And you're going to need some wet glue. These didn't want to stick down, so stickers are kind of iffy on this kind of paper. That's okay though. Next up, just a couple of stickers from the sticker sheets. The stickers aren't very big, and that's good for what we're doing today because I just want a couple of them. I'm going to add my journaling to one of them so we know who this is and what he was doing in this photo. Once I have all of the elements where I like them, I'm going to go ahead and add lots of extra glue. So I'm just tucking extra glue in, under, and around all these spots that are kind of popping up a bit. And then that is where we can call this one done. Thank you so very much for joining me today at A Cherry on Top's YouTube channel for Technique Tuesday as we learn and create and try some different distressing techniques. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.